With a Bey that has Barrage Attack, Fox Brush, and a Bey that can change modes in battle, Scorpion Spear. Let us do a recap of all the news that you missed yesterday and a bunch of other stuff, because we gotta talk about the manga chapter. So if you are new here, subscribe to the channel, comment your thoughts, and Mala Beys, we have pre-orders up live on our shop. It's an ops way to support the channel. I appreciate any support regardless. We import from Japan and we are Canadian based. So starting us off, I kind of want to just recap any new information, that way we kind of get to the main stuff to talk about. We'll first go over Fox because this releases on May 17th. We are very, very far from this. But with this release of Fox, we do have the confirmed combinations for the 3 Beyblades, so we'll kind of go over the main one and go from there. But the whole gimmick with this new Fox Brush release is essentially just Barrage Attack, which I want to just say it, I don't think Barrage Attack has ever been really an effective gimmick. I think if it just has a good shape, it'll work. The Fox shape and design for attack, I'm not feeling it. I don't think it will be good for attack. They also have one weird thing where like it's one contact that's kind of really protruding up, so I'm kind of curious if it's going to really do anything. Maybe at best potential, kind of like what I said previously, if it can destabilize attackers, it might be good just in an attack versus an attack matchup. Otherwise, maybe some weird defense. I do recall that we did get a weight leak a while back when the whole Fox Beyblade actually did leak, but I don't know what the fuck it was. I think it was like 36 grams or something like that. I think that was the ballpark we were in. So I think in terms of just looking at it just through a competitive lens, whatever, I'm not sure what potential it could really have, if at all. If it ends up having potential, sure. 970, I think it's really funny that it took them this long to reprint it. And it's really funny because it's in random select. I hope we get more reprints of 970 in the future. I think a general rule of thumb is that I really like it when they reprint more relevant new parts, but always this happens where anytime a Bey is released in a set, they will always delay a reprint of whatever new part it is to a far later date. It's really, really annoying. Obviously, it makes sense business-wise, but I just like it just for the option. 9 sides is kind of hard to burst, but I think recently 9 sides, I've noticed this with my Impact Drake, doesn't really feel as like smooth and tight of a lock. It's more easy to turn for the 9-side stuff. I don't know if it's just all the current 9-sided stuff, but if you compare the old 9, like 960 from like the original Phoenix or Tyrannosaurus or that shit, it's a lot tougher for me to actually like twist and unlock it. But maybe it's RNG, I've just noticed that and I wanted to mention that. Now the gear rush thing, something I was thinking about with this bit is that you could potentially maybe have this where maybe have a maybe slightly better end game than regular rush and maybe still having some decent aggression to it. Gear bits are like this weird thing because they just focus so much on the attack power, but then after a rush is like really slowed down. So this either is going to again be the equivalent of a regular bit, or this might be might have a triple rush stick with rush, low rush, and just like gear rush, which might actually be kind of cool. Also, the interesting thing I'm just trying to think of with Draggy, I think with assist blades, I'm really hoping that CX can maybe age good, because this assist blade, they're trying to say it's for barrage attack. I don't believe that. I'm just saying this again, stamina or defense, they have to, if we can have it where the assist blades don't really protrude as much or they're as hidden and where it's mostly the metal contacts, maybe we could have it where CX blades could be maybe a little bit more effective, because right now I think for all of CX, I think it's just mostly it's okay. It's not something where I'm thinking like, oh, CX is gonna be some crazy shit, whatever. I think they're just mid right now, so hopefully we see some good developments. Aside from that, the other Beys, we have the Black Fox recolor, which is supposed to have 080 disc bowl. I think all the parts make sense when we're getting these reprints. I mean, I'm not a fan of disc bowl. I would have maybe preferred glide, but sure, disc bowl. We also have the other one that has 216 Unite, and I don't know if I mentioned this, but it took us so long to get a Unite reprint, and I'm actually hoping, because I don't know how many actually remember this, but the original Vice Tiger was supposed to actually have the proper Unites, but all the Unites were like the improper mold, because the little ball thing was actually supposed to be a little bit more protruding. So I don't know if we're gonna get a mold fix or if that shit was always a lie and Unite is just basically just more angry taper. But now we move on to Scorpio's Spear, which I think is probably the main kind of Bey that everyone's excited for. That's literally at the end of this month, which I will probably do a poll in the community tab later after this video is published. But in terms of the releases for the entire Hell's Reaper set and Scorpio's Spear, which are you most excited for? Let me know. So of course, Scorpio's thing, they literally just did like the video showcase of it, so I'm like, hey, let's talk about it. So this is a really, really cool release. One thing right off the bat is just talking about the comparison to Hell's Hammer, which is very easy to do because this is I think it's our second UX balance type, and it's pretty much almost Hell's Hammer. I say almost because obviously there is a bunch of differences, like the side profile is very interesting. I'm very, very curious on Scorpio's weight, because Hell's Hammer wasn't really that heavy, so I'm thinking maybe 33 grams, whatever. Now again, weight is not everything. You could have these low 33s, whatever, and this could still probably do well, but the factors are your shape, weight distribution, and weight. So it's these three factors. Some are more important than others because it depends on the design of the blade, but Scorpio's gimmick is basically you will be 6-bladed at the start, and then after through later on in battle, if you activate your extreme dash, it will shift into 3-bladed. So from defense, parry to attack. So the thing I'm curious about is going to be one factor that I'm sure some maybe thought about is going to be this. Scorpio potentially, it's kind of more of this more rounded off shape, kind of looks almost like regular filled Hell's Hammer. Maybe if you launch to avoid the rails, you could do kind of like what you try to do with Transpoint, where you avoid doing the gimmick to maybe conserve on stamina and maybe keep it on one specific mode. Maybe 6-bladed is going to be better than 3-bladed actually, potentially. In terms of when it actually activates to the 3-bladed mode, I think it's going to really just depend on how easy it's going to be to do that consistently in battle. How much stamina is it going to take for you to change the mode in battle for that to actually occur? I think having a mode change in battle occur with the Extreme Dash is interesting, just I feel like it takes a lot of wind out of you just if you're able to activate it. So that's maybe a potential weakness for Scorpio that eventually we'll see if it ends up happening or not. I would have maybe preferred if we had like the traditional mode change where you literally change it, but battle activation is still like a neat concept. So maybe in the future we could get something like that. That would be pretty cool. Some of the other stuff, Zero Sides. So 070, I think so long as you avoid the rail, and it's going to be really hard to do. If you avoid the stadium rail, this could potentially be a banger ratchet for stamina and defense types, maybe even balance, because the way Distro goes crazy on it, it's not really that hard to burst. It's just specifically if it touches the rail, because obviously it has like a little bit of like a little nudge parts there where it's like, that's it, it will die. So I'm curious on it. I think it could be a useful part. It doesn't look like it's going to be shit. Now, speaking of new parts, we do have Zap. I don't know, I'm doing the Zap. Zap's bit is basically just Excel and Point. Now, what I think is going to be interesting about this is we get basically another point to use in deck. Now, while I'm not really a fan of 16 gears, this basically just being points too, you know, I think that's going to be really cool to actually have in deck. I think for your Phoenix Wings, your Tyranno Beats, that type of stuff, just to have another one just to spare, I think is going to be a very nice option, so very pleased to see that. I think 16 gears in general is just a weakness, just because you end up depleting so much energy trying to do that extreme dash. In concept, it's really cool, but I'm not too sure if it's the most effective gimmick, generally speaking, but obviously if you can make it work eventually, go for it, because we have, what was it, Hexa, XL, Level, whatever other bits have 16 gears, so the track record's like so for it, so I don't know. Aside from that, obviously get the long winder on the release, but yeah, Scorpio's looking pretty cool. Pretty cool thumb. Okay, moving on from there, we have our manga chapter talk, which shout out to Kyo for the translation notes. So the big thing in this chapter is kind of the whole revelation afterwards, because Miko is training with Bird. Now the whole thing was like, oh, Bird finally got his first win. It ends up being revealed that he also drew with Exu, so very likely Bird did not actually get his first win, and the guy threw the match. Now, you could still technically count this as his first win, but if a guy's literally not even trying at 100%, I'm not counting that. So, did Bird actually get a win last chapter? I'm gonna go with no. That's even more, honestly, it's more disrespect anyways, because it's like, bro was holding back just to get like a pity win. So they're basically just thinking like, hey, wow, we got these 100 stars, so this feels like it was probably done really just to bait us to something. So kind of what I thought in the last chapter. Bird is just, bro, you wanna know what? He's crying, and you wanna know what? That's fair enough. I would probably do the same, man, because this man has literally got an L after fucking L. You know what? They can let him cry this time. They're basically now doing training with Bird, so they're actually doing something I said in like the previous season I would like to see more of, Bird actually training more consistently, because there's no reason why he shouldn't be able to. He's already gone past like the fundamentals. He should be able to at least do a little bit better. Obviously, in the world of pros and everything, yada yada yada, I guess I can get it, but god damn it, he's got to earn that shit, and I really hope he can get it. So basically, they're going now to the Besa place. So this is where Multi, Exu, and Tenka go to. So there is a flashback to when Omega was basically quitting. Her reasoning for this was basically that she thought Shiraboshi is weak, and the school is afraid to play with Beyblade in the Pro and in the Open. So the other people used to be, so this was like Rance and the Kirbyus guy or whatever his name was, but these are instructors, like Tenka was. So when they appear, it's kind of like this whole thing where it's like, welcome! Ah, but actually, before you face us, dipshits, you gotta face another team! So, it's team, what is it, Miss Leaders? So you have the 471 team leader, 99 team leader, and 94 team leader. What are their names again? So the old guy is Ryu Ishin? Whatever. What is it, Yoko Kyubi? And then after fuck, this is hard. Dokuga Fusho, well, I guess we're going with that. Can't wait to hear the comments complain about that shit. Well, there you go. There you go. But yeah, they basically appear. So this guy, the old guy, what's this guy's name? Ryu, okay. So he pulls out Tricera Press, which I'm not gonna lie, that's a pretty cool name. So you kind of think like, oh, what's this old guy doing here? And then after he gets like this whole get up and everything, he's just hyping up this shit. So he has 10,200 wins and 30 losses. Played Beyblade for 25 years and is in the Quinn Manju generation. So Tricera Press, which I don't know what the parts on this. Someone said it's 585 and maybe bound spike or something. I thought it was 385 and like free needle. I don't know what part it's supposed to be. What are your predictions for Tricera Press? Its gimmick, I think, is just like the Rhino Horn gimmick. Like, oh, the hooks make everything centralized for the weight. It's hard and sturdy. But guess what, dipshit? Drawn Brave can attack from every angle, and then he gets obliterated. And then after, it's going to be Tenka versus the other guy. Tenka's going to be facing off against the Scorpio guy. So my prediction for probably what's going to be happening afterwards, and then after my thoughts on the chapter, I suspect most likely Tenka loses a Scorpio guy, and then after Multi will beat the Fox lady, what's her name? Yoko, whatever. So Night Mail, they'll be like, oh, well, my Bey can shock absorb, so nice try. And then after they move forward to maybe like the final stage or something, that can make some sense. I don't know. What are your thoughts on the chapter? I think overall this was good, leading towards the final conflict, or like I guess the climax of the story now. But yeah, that's kind of it for this video. So hey, thank you all for watching. That's gonna be pretty much it for this video. And yeah. All bays. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Alrighty, take care and bye. Have a wonderful day.